when I tell you I got out my bed and ran to my computer to record this episode, I ain't brushed my teeth. If you can see me on the camera, my edges are not laid. I'm in my pajamas. I still got my little two plaits with my braids, but I had to really hop on here to get on this camera to tell y'all about these amazing things that I'm doing in my business that has doubled my monthly income, especially in the month of May. If you're not seeing any type of movement in your business, these strategies are going to help you. Lock in with me for the next 20 minutes, the next 30 minutes. Lock in with me. Welcome to the Side Hustler Podcast, the podcast for women building their dreams while balancing work, family, and all the things. I'm your host, Carly LeBlanc, a wife, mom, marketer, and your side hustling friend here to teach you how to grow a brand that works for you and not the other way around. Whether you're a side hustling pro or just starting out, this is your safe place for real talk, actionable strategies, and the encouragement you need to keep going. We're here to help you make progress and not perfection. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's build your dream one step at a time. Hello, and welcome back to the Side Hustler Podcast. I'm your host, Carly LeBlanc, and I am so excited to have you here today because one, I'm actually recording this podcast in my pajamas. And this just tells you how urgent I really wanted to make sure that I recorded this episode because my house is quiet, everyone is gone, my husband is gone, my kid is gone, my brother's gone, the dog is gone. And so I was like, instead of me taking this time to go get dressed up and putting on makeup, we're just going to record this episode in our pajamas. So this should be very, very cute, cozy, and casual. But I'm excited to really just give you the behind the scenes of what's actually working when it comes to my marketing and my business. And so right now, as I'm shooting this recording, it is at the end of May. So we're a little bit more than halfway into Q2. And I have really just been kind of just throwing spaghetti at the wall with my marketing. And I know that sounds very crazy because with me being a marketer myself, people expect for me to have all of the solutions on what to do and how to market a business. But in different times comes different strategies, different things to try. And after trying things, you often find yourself in places where you're having to look at your analytics and see what makes sense. But not only that, you need to see what actually is converting. And so I feel like I'm at a really good moment in Q2 since we're halfway there where I'm, reviewing the analytics, I'm looking at the data, and I'm looking to see what actually works. And so I wanted to bring you behind the scenes on what's working right now in my business. And so in this episode, we are going to dive in and we're going to be talking about the number one reason why I love attending in-person events because they lead to book clients. We're going to talk about how paid ads are really helping me reach new people without burning out or stressing myself out over content. We're going to talk about why email marketing is still outperforming social media and has every single time. We're also going to talk about SEO and what I'm doing to rank higher in Google to make sure that my business is showing up in the search engine when people are looking for businesses like mine. And then we're also going to talk about referrals and how referrals help you to also get results when it comes to book clients. So if you're wondering how you can spend your time or what to prioritize in your marketing, then this episode is going to give you the clarity and the strategy that you need to get started. So let's get into it. Before we dive into today's episode, I have something special for all of my side hustlers out there. Are you building a business while working a 9 to 5 and you're tired of wasting time on marketing strategies that don't actually move the needle? Then you're going to want to get plugged into my weekly newsletter. Every single week, I'm giving you the real behind-the-scenes scoop on what's actually working in marketing and business. No fluff, No gatekeeping, just real strategies, insights I'm testing in my own business, and practical tips that you can apply right away. If you want to work smarter and not harder and finally start seeing momentum, then head over to cdcreativecoagency.com/newsletter and get locked in. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is attending events. And so in Q2, I really told myself that I wanted to amp up being out in the community, not only because I'm a local business, but because since I service people within my city specifically, I really needed to position myself and be in the rooms of where my ideal customer are. And so when it came to Q2, I set myself a goal of at least going to 3 events a month to put myself in the rooms where I can connect with my target audience. Now, this could be a mixture of networking events that I find on Eventbrite or on Threads, or even events that I host myself, because that has also been a strategy that I have been implementing this Q2, hosting my in-person co-working events at local coffee shops and local businesses within Houston, not only because it attracts my ideal customer, but also because it allows me to position myself as an expert and really hone in on why people need my services. So, on one hand, when it comes to attending events, I go in with a strategy. My strategy is to make sure that when I walk into the room, I know exactly who I need to connect with, that I can use, or someone that I can work with to push my business forward. And so I really love the networking events that I attend, where at the beginning they have an introduction and they go around the room and they tell you to introduce yourself in, your elevator pitch, because then it really just allows you to see who's in the room before networking starts. And so you're not wasting time talking to people that actually aren't looking for someone like you, or that aren't a part of your ideal customer avatar. And so attending networking events that are intentional, that are within my niche of my target demographic, has been a game changer for me, not only to get new clients, but also to connect with other people that can propel my business forward. I remember I met a woman at a networking event. She's also a marketer, but she didn't actually do content creation in her marketing agency. She outsourced it. So she was really looking for someone to take on all of her content creation for her clients. And so that was an amazing connection that I made at a networking event. Likewise, I attended a business breakfast a couple of weeks ago, and I was actually there as the content creator. But since I was there, I still capitalized on that opportunity. I brought my business cards that had my QR codes. I was still talking to people in the room while I was working. And so I really was intentional about being in the room, but also using a strategy to be able to connect. And so with that, I was able to capture 3 new leads from that event. And eventually 2 of them actually converted to paying clients. And so I am always going to tell you that if you can get in the room with your target audience, it's always going to be a win, because one, people love being able to build connection through personality. They love being able to see a face to the brand, and also just to gauge your personality to see if they even like you, to work with you. And so I feel like in-person networking events is going to be the best way that you can really hone in and really get someone to turn into a paying client. Likewise, if you decide to host events, maybe you're deciding to do workshops or webinars or things of that sort, you really want to make sure that you're going about it with a strategy. And so one thing that I'm using for my co-working events is, because I wanted to keep it very low lift, low ticket, low maintenance. So I have been reaching out to local coffee shops and local businesses that will allow me to use this space for free. Maybe they have projectors, maybe they don't. If they don't, then you can easily get a way around it by, printing out documents or sending out PDFs of your presentation. But you want to make sure that you are using it as a way to attract people that need your services. And so I like being able to use my co-working events as a way to attract my audience, because one, it pulls in entrepreneurs that are side hustlers or that are full-time entrepreneurs into my world, and it gives them something to look forward to. I need to just get them into the room. And so who doesn't love being able to be in a room with an entrepreneur or entrepreneurial women when you are struggling in business? So my co-working events are definitely going to be a way to capture leads. Now, for the first one, I didn't run any paid ads to my free offer. I first sent it out to my email list and to my community that I have within my broadcast channel on Instagram, and I was able to get 50 RSVPs. Now, would I recommend you have 50? Probably not, because when it starts to get a little bit big, it becomes a less personal. So I just cut off the RSVPs for that event because I didn't want more than 50 people. Also because it's a space issue when you're trying to go into these places and you're using them for free. Most of the time they don't like you having big, huge crowds because the staff gets overwhelmed and things of that sort. And so with that, in these co-working sessions, not only are we going to be co-working and networking, but I'm also going to use it as an opportunity to do a little mini masterclass where I'm talking about something and I'm addressing a pain point that my audience has, but I'm also positioning myself as the solution. And so I will always swear by attending events or even hosting events to really help you to pull in some new clients, some new leads, and then eventually convert them into paying clients. Okay. So the next thing I want to get into is paid ads. And let me tell you, honey, my paid ads are converting like crazy. And this is so crazy because you're talking to a person that ran paid ads early on in business and it was an epic fail. I was literally throwing spaghetti at the wall, throwing money out the window. You would have thought I had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend on ads at the beginning. And I told myself, I was like, I'm not doing this again. But I had a friend who told me, like, let's, sit down and really learn how to do ads the right way. And so it took us 2 days to sit down and go through this course where it was teaching us how to set up the ads, how to organize them, which type of ads we should run. And so we sat down for 2 days. We did a co-working day here in Houston at a Common Desk, which is a co-working space in Houston. And we literally set up our computers and was like back to school mode. So we were taking notes, we were setting it up, we were screen sharing, going step by step to setting up our ads. And when I tell you, that was a game changer being able to do that, because not only do I have the educational piece of how to set up ads, but I also know how to optimize them and really, really make them work for me. And so with that, I would say having a paid ad running is always going to be a part of my strategy moving forward. And even when it comes to the slow months, like I will be intentional about making sure that I have ad spend budget in my monthly budget for my business, because paid ads have been a game changer. Not only has it been able to attract new leads to my page, but I got a slew of leads that had book discovery calls that I would have never connected with. We were not following any mutual people. And I've been able to really have a high conversion rate with my paid ads. And so I say all this to say, if you have a little bit of money in your budget, right now I'm running 3 ad groups at $5 a day. So that's $15 a day. So if you're multiplying that by 30 days, it's about $450 a month. And so that's kind of what I've been aiming for, spending $450 a month. But if you really think about it, if I'm spending $450 a month and in that $450, I get 4 or 5 clients and my package or my service price average is about $600, then if I'm spending $450, but I'm getting 600, let's see, 600 times 5, that's 3,000. I mean, it's pretty much worth it, right? And so I say what I would recommend you do is every time someone pays you, take a percentage out of that amount that you made. Maybe it's 10 or 20%, depending on how, much your offer costs, but take money out of the amount that you make, budget it, and put it aside into an ad account. And then at the end of the month, you can see how much money you're working with and run an ad using that money. That's going to be the best thing that you could do for yourself. And I'm telling you right now that this has been a game changer for my business. I've been able to connect with people I've never met before, work with people I've never met before. And so this will always be something that I will implement in my marketing strategy for sure. Y'all already know I'm all about working smarter and not harder, especially when it comes to marketing your brand. And if you're still relying only on social media to reach your audience, we need to fix that immediately. Social media is cute, but let's be real, the algorithm is unpredictable, and your content is probably only reaching a small percentage of your followers. That's why I swear by email marketing, because when I send an email, I know 100% of my subscribers are getting my messages. And the best part, Flowdesk makes it ridiculously easy. You can send beautiful on-brand emails, automate your sequences, and even create landing pages without needing to be tech savvy. And because you're listening, I got you a deal. Use my code SIDEHUSTLE at checkout and you'll get 50% off your Flowdesk subscription for the next 12 months. So if you're ready to stop relying on algorithms and start building an email list that actually converts, try Flowdesk for free. And don't forget to use the code SIDEHUSTLE at checkout for that exclusive 50% off. Okay, so now that brings me to my next thing, which is email marketing. Now, you know that I'm always telling you that you need to have your email marketing system up and running because one, if you're running ads and you're getting all of these leads, but you're not using a way to nurture them and stay in front of their face, then one, not only are you wasting money, but two, you are also not helping yourself to position yourself as an expert. And so typically people like to run ads to a paid offer, but I like to run traffic ads to my page because one, they are cheaper, and two, because it allows me to do the nurturing. I just need Facebook Meta to get me exposed to new people that I wouldn't physically have the capability of being able to connect with. But once I get those people into my world, whether they follow me or they opt into one of my lead magnets, I need to have a way to continue to nurture them. And the way that I like to nurture them is through email marketing. So anytime a new person that's coming into my world, maybe they came by way of ads, they found my Instagram page, they found my freebies, they opt in, they give me their email address, they grab my free download. The next thing I do is they have a welcome sequence that they will receive, which is a series of emails that will not only introduce who I am, it will talk about my services, it will address the pain points that they have and offer me as a solution. And it will also give them a call to action to book a discovery call. Now, I run my ads local to Houston because obviously I service people within Houston majorly. Now, if you have an online business and you're servicing people all around the US, then you could definitely expand your reach. But since I am here in Houston and I service local clients, my ads are a local ad. And so with that, the welcome sequence does all of the heavy lifting for me. But then also, whenever they are a part of my email list, they will also get my weekly newsletters where I'm, talking about marketing tips and I'm giving them value and I'm sharing my insight and I'm, telling them all of the things that they need to hear about how they can really increase their marketing and show up online in the marketplace. So you don't want to just have someone follow you on Instagram. That does us no good. Okay. That basically just means that you're paying for followers. We're not paying for followers, we're paying for leads. We want people to follow us, get on our mailing list, and then stay nurtured through our mailing list, and then eventually convert to a paying client by way of ads and email. So ads and email are the solution, right? You can't just have ads without the email. You have to have both. So if you are wanting to really utilize ads and make them work for you and make them bring people into your ecosystem, then you need to make sure you have your email marketing set up. This is going to be a game changer. So make sure that you do it. Do not overthink it. If you need help, you know where I love to spend my time on Flowdesk, because Flowdesk is the best place for me to be able to send really beautiful, really branded, organic emails to my email subscribers. But also it allows me to be able to schedule them and have everything working for me behind the scenes. So don't overthink it. Just make sure that you're showing up in your inbox through your welcome sequence and also a weekly newsletter, because you can't just, after you send the welcome sequence that's only like 3 or 4 emails long, you can't just abandon the people that are new to your world. You have to continue to nurture them. So send them an email once a week, maybe just giving them some value, giving them a little tip, and then really positioning yourself as a solution to their problem. Okay. All right. So that's going to bring me to my next thing, which is website SEO and Google reviews. And y'all, let me tell you something. Okay, so if I can be 100% authentic, organic right now, my website has been like, I literally change and add stuff to my website at least once a week, if I'm being completely honest. One, because I just feel like you have a basic website, but you need to have something that you can continuously build. So I recently started adding blog posts to my website to really just utilize the content from my podcast. So I take my podcast content and then I write a blog post about it to really help me with SEO. And if you don't know what SEO is, it's search engine optimization. So it's basically all of these keywords that I use that are relative to my brand. I want to make sure these keywords are literally all over my website, but in an organic way. Because when people are searching for these keywords, you want to make sure that your business that you paid this website for is showing up in the search engine whenever someone is searching for something like you. And so SEO has been something that I've been kind of playing around with. I change my keywords often to kind of see if I see spikes in my website visits or spikes in my blog post visits. And so recently, I have been seeing some dramatic data changes, and I think it's because originally I wasn't utilizing my homepage SEO keywords as best as I could, and so I was playing around with that. And if you need help with trying to figure out, what keywords that you want to include on your homepage or throughout your website, go to ChatGPT, okay? ChatGPT can help you to figure out, what are some SEO keywords that I need to use to make sure that my brand shows up in the search engine. And I think that this has been a game changer because I have a list of keywords that not only do I use for my website, but going back to the ads, I also use that as my ad set interest groups. So whenever you come up with the keywords that are relative to your brand, you want to keep you like a keyword bank, maybe in your notes or your Notion or Google Drive or wherever you keep all of your, brain dump notes, and really just rotate those keywords throughout your content, throughout your website, throughout all of the things that are relative to your brand. And then another thing that I really have been honing in on is every single time I have a content day, an hour after we finish shooting, I have an automated email that gets sent out to my client that tells them, leave me a review. And the good thing about this is that when someone leaves you a review, the more reviews you get on Google, the higher you will rank in the search engine. And so I really have been honing in on getting those Google reviews from my clients every single time because, one, after we shoot, they're already feeling all the feels. They're super excited. They feel, on top of the world. So I want to capitalize on their feelings and their emotions right then and there. But then also what I do to kind of push them, because just because you send them an email saying leave me a review doesn't mean that they're actually going to send an email leaving you a review. So what I like to do is I like to say, hey, if you leave me a review, I'll give you 2 free photos or a free edited reel. It has to be done within the next 48 hours though. And so it really like pushes them to not only leave a review, but leave a really good review and leave it right now. And so with that, it's a double win because, one, it takes me no time to edit another photo or to edit 2 additional photos or an edited reel, but it also just gives me that feedback that's going to help rank me in the Google search engine when people are looking for people that do stuff like I do. So really, really hone in on your website SEO keywords. That's going to help you to show up in the search engine, but also your Google reviews are going to definitely help you. And if you don't have a website, really work on getting one. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, all I need is a landing page. But if you're really wanting to optimize and really use these strategies to its fullest potential, you should definitely work towards getting a website. And it doesn't have to be a super, robust website. I use Wix. I built my foundational website in like 2 days. I bought a template off of Etsy for $40, and I went in, added my colors, added my copy, added my photos, photos, and I was up and running in 2 days, and then I connected my domain. So if you are listening and you don't have a website, maybe because you're like, oh, this landing page is working for me, I really, really want you to, set a goal to work towards getting a website. So that way you can continue to use these strategies to expand your reach and your visibility and really allow you to be able to show up as the expert that you are. Okay, so my last thing that I want to talk about are referrals. Now, referrals have been a game changer for me in the past. I want to say in Q1, most of my clients came by way of referrals or returning clients. And so that's when I really was like, okay, I need to find a way to really honor and reward people that are sending me clients. And so I started to implement a payout. So any paying client that refers me a new client, they will get paid out 10% of the package that the person they referred selects. And so this is a good thing because not only does it just, help people. I mean, people always want money, right? I know I do. But it also helps people to share the good news about your brand. But also, these are the people that are going to speak so highly about you, even better than you can talk about themselves. People are always going to buy whenever they have someone that they know, like, and trust that speaks so highly about a brand. I think about, all of the things that I like to use, and I'm telling my clients about it. And it's like, they don't even go to search for another option. They're like, Carly recommended this, so I'm going to use it. And so if you can really find a way to reward your past clients to bring new clients into your world, that's going to really help you to continue to bring in more people into your ecosystem and really be able to maximize on that. Because if you have a really good service and people are already speaking highly about it, you might as well maximize on it. Okay. So there you have it. I know this episode was a little bit short and sweet, but I really wanted to hop on here while I was thinking about it because I was like, listen, I have to share. And if you know me, first of all, you know that I'm really excited about sharing this because not only did I talk about it on my feed, I talked about it on Threads, I sent an email out to you all, and now I'm on the podcast talking about it again because I really, really want you all to be able to see the success that I've been seeing in my business. And so I want you to take some of these strategies. Maybe you are deciding, okay, I'm just going to hone in on one or two for the next month. I'm not telling you that you have to implement them all at once, but I am telling you that these are my top 5 that I'm currently using that I'm seeing crazy amounts of success with. And so I just wanted to do my due diligence and share it with you so you can also see that same success in your business. And so if you are deciding, hey, I'm going to hone in on one or two of these marketing strategies for the next month or two, then definitely let me know. I would love to hear all about all the things that you are trying, all of the things that you are wanting to try out in your business and the things that you're wanting to use to push forward. So if you're thinking about trying any of these strategies, definitely make sure that you share on Instagram. You can tag me on Instagram. And then also, if you really love this episode, please do me a favor and share it with an entrepreneur friend who is struggling, or maybe they need help trying to grow their business or attracting new clients. Okay. We want to see everyone win. This is free game. I'm giving you the 411 on what's working for my brand. So if you have a friend that's an entrepreneur that's building a business, make sure you share this episode and let me know what you think about this episode in the comments. All right, my friends, that is it for today. And I will see you in next week's episode. And until then, keep hustling, sis. You got this. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Side Hustler Podcast. I hope you're leaving here today feeling inspired and ready to take your next step. If you love this episode, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another side hustler who needs to hear it. And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at Carly Dorlin. I'd love to hear about your side hustling journey. Remember, you're doing better than you think, and your dreams are so worth it. Until next time, keep hustling, sis. You got this.